Good morning, my family, and it is 7 o'clock Monday morning. Definitely not awake for this. However, we have a lot of work to do. When you're given a blessing, you do not want to waste. And that's the one thing I don't. But also, time is really valuable right now because it can go very quickly. So, what are we doing today? Tomatoes. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. I'm so excited. Part of the Mediterranean pantry deals with tomatoes, whether they be sauce or in chunks, whatever. We can make marinara from it. So this is what we're going to talk about today, y'all. We've got some work to do and I can't wait to get started. So let's get started. Okay, y'all, so for the most part, we are doing whole tomatoes and we're doing tomato sauce. Now, the tomato sauce is going to take a while, so we're going to actually do two things. Now, these will be canned and they'll be water bath canned. I do have to run out and get some lemon juice because that is part of adding. I know tomatoes do have acid to them, but you want to add tomato juice to it as well. It keeps them safe. You do not taste the flavor. I've already done this for so long, you just don't taste the flavor. So, my thing right now is we have a lot of tomatoes. Some of these still need to ripen, but we have a lot of paste tomatoes. This is amazing. These are the ones that we're going to skin and turn into sauce. The two main ingredients that I go through in my Mediterranean diet is sauce and whole tomatoes. The whole tomatoes I can break down and roast, or I could literally make marinara for them, or we'll just turn around and make tomato sauce out of it. So I have this separated. These are going to be my whole tomatoes. They're just slicing tomatoes basically, but I'm going to quarter these, and I am saving the skins, so I will be peeling them. A lot of people will take and purify them. For number one, I don't have a $500 Vitamix machine, y'all. I just don't. I have enough in my mills and my mixers, and I don't need a Vitamix. So what I'm going to do literally, though, is I'm going to peel all of my tomatoes by blanching them, and I'm saving the skins because I'm going to dehydrate those to make powder. What I could do with the powder is making flavored tortillas, pasta. So, and then if I wanted to, I can add them to sauces, stews, whatever. So those peels, all of these peels are going to make a good use for my pantry shelf as well. So, and in all honesty, if I run out of tomato paste, you can use some of that dried mix just to reconstitute it enough to make it thick enough to use it for whatever you need. So this is what we're going to do with all these tomatoes today. And I am also going to be chopping up a bunch of bell peppers as well. And these are going to be frozen because we can use this in stews, we can use this in chili, many different things. And some of these I think I'm going to slice and then freeze them as well. Yes, it makes them softer to freeze them, but if I'm going to make a good chili or a Philly cheesesteak, it ain't gonna matter. So I'm gonna slice some of these with that we can add to onions and make some good fillies. So y'all, I hope you're ready to work with me today, because we are going to be canning and we're going to be preparing, chopping. And I had made a big major mistake. So I had told y'all that my God love me, really, my brother, he's amazing. So I told you that my Tabasco peppers didn't do very well, that they were just the tip of my pinky. Well, y'all, this is what I was talking about, this itty bitty pepper. Come to find out, y'all, this is not a Tabasco. I made the mistake by not labeling this year. So I found out this is actually an abundance, and I have a bunch of these growing Thai chili peppers. Y'all, this, I felt kind of like, oh, wow, cool. So, yes, we have some of these as well, so we're going to be putting these up. I have some more that are already green. They're working on turning red. We're going to play catch up today because I'm not going to miss any of this blessing. Oh my, I got more tomatoes over there. So we got a lot of work to do, y'all. So let's get started. Alright, y'all. So on these water bath canners, we usually use these racks in here. But I've noticed that with a lot of this takes up a lot of space inside the canner. And having to take these handles and everything else. So I'm gonna try something else. I saw a video through Living Traditions, an old video of hers, and it never dawned on me. I bought a roll of 12 by 10 silicone mat covers so I could cut it and form it to my pans, because sometimes it's hard to find the right size for the pans. So at 12 inches, this one worked out to be perfect to make a circle to go inside my water bath canner, because we have to have a liner against the heat. So I'm going to try this and free up that space and see how many pipes I can actually get in this canner. Even if it's still 10, at least I'll have more room and without cramming them. So, because sometimes I can only get 8 to 9 jars with that rack. Alright, y'all. So, that was that one. Now we're going to fill it with water and we're going to get ready for our canning jars. Alright, y'all. So, first we're going to start with the, what is the name of that? Oh my gosh. Not the sauce, y'all. We're going to start with the whole tomatoes. And I'm doing quarts. The reason I'm doing quarts, because to make a good marinara, when you're having to fill your jars with the size of these and in quarter size chunks, I want to make sure that I have a good amount of marinara when it comes to whether even I want it for, say I want it for a pizza crust or a beautiful eggplant parmigiana. So I want to be able to do those in quarts, and most of the time I don't use quarts. Sauce will be in pints. So I've got those cleaned and in here ready to go. As you can see, we got the boiling water ready. We're going to put all our tomatoes in the sink. We're going to clean them, fill it up with cold water, because that's going to take 30 to 60 seconds, and then we're going to dump them in the cold water so that the skins start peeling off. So I'm going to go ahead and open this lid, put this down to simmer, because this water is going to be hot enough, yeah buddy, to keep our tomatoes. And I'm going to put a crisscross in the bottom of them, and then we're going to peel them, and I'm saving all the skins to dehydrate. So I'm going to fill this up, wash our tomatoes, and this is going to be our next step. Okay, y'all, all the tomatoes are now washed. Now I'm going to use, with this little core thing like this, we're going to use this to core out our tomatoes. And this thing makes everything so easy, like super easy. I'm going to put this in a bowl or a dish. I'm going to find that dish. We'll just go ahead and put that in here. I'll feed or put that in the compost. So I'm just going to go now, core these out. Then I'm going to score the bottoms, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a knife like this. I'm just going to put a small X. If I had a good knife, I'm just going to put a small X because this is going to peel back once it hits the cold water. It hits the hot water for 30 to 60 seconds, and then I actually don't even need to do that because of this up here is already going to be done. And I do want to cut out any bad spots that I may find. We do not want that in our canning. So that's what we're going to do right now is core, blanch, de-skin, and I'm going to set these up in a pot or a bowl to get ready to can them while this is getting hot enough for our jars. So, and I've got 7 quarts in here. We'll see how many of these we'll get. And honestly, even if it's a small batch, y'all, I'm going to be happy with anything because I had nothing. So I will not complain about anything. Alright, y'all, so I'm going to get this started, and once we get this done, I'll come back when it comes time for the canning part of it. I'm taking a break with a nice fresh milled loaf of bread and making a sandwich, y'all, because I'm going to show you this process, how I'm doing this. I'm actually literally coring, peeling, putting the peels on my dehydrator rack at the same time, filling up my bowl to get ready to fill up my jars. And I'm keeping this process going. I'm actually going to do the same thing when it comes to the sauce, only the sauce is going to be different. I'm actually probably not going to can those till tomorrow because I need all of that to cook down. And I will be de-seeding those. I'm going to try and de-seed this as much as I can too. I really prefer not the seeds because the seeds, for some reason, they really upset our stomach, and so I'm trying to remove as much. If I have to squeeze them, I will do so. But I'm going to show you my process, and I'm actually not doing it right now because of copyright issues, but I'm jamming the music while I'm doing this because it has to keep me motivated, y'all, because this can get tiring, but so worth it in the end. Yes, I'm very hot. I'm about to put my fan around my neck, and we're about to work. This is the part where I core them. Making sure there's no blemishes, cut them out if I see them, or any cracking, any of that. If it looks bad, I remove it. Continue to do this until this bowl is full. So once this bowl gets full, y'all, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep you with me because it just helps you to understand what it's like to be in the kitchen to can just by watching the whole process. So I'm not going to cut you out of that because I'd rather you, well, you get the whole experience. Well, that didn't work out right. I lost concentration, y'all. Alright. I make sure that that bowl isn't too full, because if it's too full, it won't fit in that pot of hot water. I have my timer set for 40 seconds. So the minute I dump all of these tomatoes in my hot water, hang on, let me twist you around for a minute. There we go. So I'm putting this in the hot water. I get each one in there. Once they're all inside, I hit my timer for 40 seconds. We'll leave that sit. I'm just going to let you sit with me so you understand what this is like, y'all. This is actually a quick process here. I can already see the skin starting to curl. and then split sometimes too. Now there's that. I pull them out of here. And then I'm going to take them to the cold water of the sink and show you what I do from there. A lot of people won't show you the process of what it takes. I'm going to give you an example of what it takes, but in the end, it's all worth it come winter time because I'm going to enjoy this. And I'm going to swing you around to the rest. All right, because these skins get wet, here is my dehydrator rack on the top of this. These have been sitting in water, so just look, just peels, just like this, right off of here. I take my sheets like so, lay them on my rack so I don't have to do this a second or third time by putting it in another bowl, this, that, or whatever. I have it done, it's on my rack, and it's ready once it's full to just go in the dehydrator. So I'm multitasking here basically. I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these right here, pull them off, lay them out, and it's done. Same with this one, pull it off, just like so. Lay it on my rack, and it's done. Some of them don't come off as easy, but they'll come off. I don't mind doing this because I'm using these peels for my powder, and I like adding that flavor to various different recipes, especially when I make flour tortillas, tomato basil flavor or something like that. I can even do the same thing. And this is green, so I'm actually going to cut this green part off of here. Okay. But this is what we're doing here, y'all. And then I just go back and do it all over again until all of my tomatoes are finished. And I like that it just slips right off like that. Lay it down, bam, good to go. I love that part. So for the most part, most of these do that. Some of them will be a bit stubborn, but it's okay because I got the patience to do this because I know what it's going to be like in the end, even if it's hard work. It's not that hard of a work, honestly. I've had harder work like tilling or doing my gardens. That's harder work, especially when it's hot. And yes, it may be hot here, but I just got to keep reminding myself it could be a whole lot hotter somewhere else. So alright, y'all, that's that batch. And now that's how I'm doing this. I'm just recycling. Now go through the next batch, core, sit there and blanch, cold water, take the skins, and keep doing that until my tomato batch is ready to start canning. Okay, y'all, so here, now we're going to fill up the jars. Now, I didn't remove all of the seeds. I have cut these up to where I'm going to put them in my jar. But I have removed a lot of the seeds, and that is going to make it, even a few is better than a whole lot on our system. So, I mean, that you don't have to do that, y'all, but that's what we do. So I'm going to pull my jars out of this canner. Yeah. Ooh, hold on. Yep, hold on to this. I do not want to drop these, so I'm going to get a towel underneath it while I'm taking the water. I'm actually reserving this water in case I need it. So I just do it to help keep my jars hot. So in each jar, you would put, I think it's a half a teaspoon of salt per quart and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I do not add salt, as you mostly know why, because I mean, I just do all my flavoring when I cook. I'm just doing the basics, y'all. And I boiled up some water, so let's turn this down to simmer now. But I boiled up some water for this. They're not going to be packed in their own juice. It takes over an hour to cook these otherwise, so it'll still be good. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons. And y'all, I'm taking this little piece off here because this is annoying for right now. If I can. Yep. There we go. Make this a lot quicker. 1, 2. Alright, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then I'm just going to pack in my tomato pieces, just like so. From there, we're going to fill this up with our hot water to our 1/2 inch headspace. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much better for marinara and whole tomatoes. Yes. It's going to be interesting to see how much we can actually get out of this though. So I want to put my tomatoes at approximately the 1/2 or the 1 inch headspace, y'all. Now these will shrink and they will float to the top like normal, but alright, so I am, as you can see, packing my tomatoes in just like so. These are rather meaty too, so I'm really happy for that. Now I'm going to take and fill my jars with our hot water. Yeah. Over here, we're going to fill it to our 1/2 inch headspace. It's going to come down. We're going to debubble this, so as we debubble it, we'll be filling it up with more water. So I'm going to move this aside, bring it over here because I need to debubble it. And this water will drop just like that until it gets inside here. I want to make sure that there are no bubbles in my jar and everything can reach where it needs to be. Fill this up again with some more water to my 1/2 inch headspace. And you get a lot of the juice from them. But again, they will shrink during the cooking process, so it'll look like all your tomatoes are going to float to the top. They probably will, but okay, so now I need to clean off my rim as soon as I can find. This is one bad thing, y'all, with this small space. I got everything everywhere and don't know where everything is at. Hang on a second. All right, y'all. Cloth dipped in vinegar. It's hard to see over here, I understand, but clean off my rims, make sure there is no debris on here at all. I'm going to check my head spacing for my 1/2 inch. Let's see, that's my 1, that's my 1/2 inch right there, and we got it. So now I'm going to take my lid, place this on top, finger tight, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I think it took more time for me to process the tomatoes to get them for the jar than it is taken actually to seal and fill. So we're going to put these inside of our water. Again, you want to make sure when you do this that it is at least above 1 inch headspace. And then just go ahead and repeat this method for your next batch. Sorry, y'all. I had a good clump of seeds. So I'm just going to take this and do like I've been doing. All these seeds that got on here. Making sure I get what I can. And just fill up my jars. Now, if they're small enough, you can do them whole, half, quarters. And I'm basically, because ours was quite large, I'm quartering ours. So, I mean, these are slicing tomatoes too. So, I'm just going to go ahead and just pack this jar in here until I can't pack no more. This around, push this down, just like so, and just keep filling it up till I have enough tomatoes in here to start filling it up with the water. Oh yeah, this is going to make nice marinara too. If I really, really wanted to, y'all, I could even make probably chopped tomatoes out of this, like we do diced sometimes. So I never thought about that. I don't think there's a recipe for it, but it would be nice to get diced tomatoes. All right, again, oops, clean up my rims. Fill this up with water. And debubble and do the whole process all over again. Go ahead and add my water to my 1/2-inch headspace. Bring it back here and debubble this. Yeah, look at all them bubbles coming out of there. I go in the center. I go on the edges just to make sure, and then readjust my liquid after. Okay, push this back down, fill in my space, clean it, and seal it. Now make sure I have my 1/2-inch headspace. Nope, we need just a little bit more. And there we are. Okay, and y'all, that's exactly what I'm going to keep doing until I fill up as many jars as I can with all these tomatoes. I will come back and let you know how many we got with all those that we've been processing. And that big old restaurant style stainless steel bowl pretty much was full. So we'll see how many we got. Like I said, I got 7 quarts. That's going to give us quite a few tomatoes. So let's see how many tomatoes we have versus our jars and see how much we can get done here. So far we got 2 quarts full. This makes me happy too. I don't care if we just had 3, y'all. That's more than what we had in the beginning. We had really nothing. I'm just going to go ahead and just keep filling up my jars and we will be back. Alright y'all, we have 7 beautiful pints full of our tomatoes for our whole tomatoes. What's left is just maybe about a 1/2 pint, so I'm just going to add that for sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and get these processed. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Once it gets up to a boil, we're going to, and that will be a rolling boil because this is water bath canning. Then we will set it for 45 minutes and go from there. Okay, y'all. So the canner has just started, or just ended with its 45 minutes, and it's sitting on 10-minute time because I pulled the lid off of it. In here we have our spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce starting. We're getting the tomatoes softened because I will be, at this point with this stuff, is milling it, making sure all the seeds and the skins that I couldn't get off are off of it. And then we're going to be working down the sauce into a nice thick sauce, draining and reducing the water in it. Y'all, we still are not done. I still got a box from 12 mason jars, canning jars full of tomatoes, and this box. It's not exactly full, but we still got tomatoes. So this one here will probably be made into ketchup. We might not get a whole lot of it, but we'll get a little bit of it, and it will be sugar-free. On top of that, I have 6 half-gallon bags of green beans that have to be canned as well. This whole entire week is going to be dedicated to canning, nothing else. So at least these tomatoes are done. Now we're working on our sauces. Then again, I don't know if I'm going to do, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do ketchup, because this has to reduce an awful lot to be ketchup, or if I'm just going to do sauce with it. I may even make barbecue sauce. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I also like to make some pickled ginger. I like munching on that too. Cleans my palate, and it's great to go with a salad or something. So I've got some pickled ginger I need to do, and I will share that recipe with y'all. But for now, y'all, I am about done. At this point, I just have to reduce this, and this is probably going to take all night long. Then I have the tomatoes, which are finally finished. 7 pints of whole tomatoes. So this is good. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. And the pantry is getting full. So y'all, until next time, I am going to stop this segment because we have the rest of this week to work. So, until next time, much love. Please stay cool. It's really hot out here. And we'll catch you again for Parton's Mediterranean Homestead.